The first day waking up at 5 a.m. nearly killed me. The 30th day completely reprogrammed my brain. I tracked absolutely everything: my cortisol levels, productivity metrics, even my REM sleep patterns using cutting-edge technology. What happened on day 23 will forever change how you think about morning routines. But before I start, let me tell you why I decided to do this insane experiment. For years, I struggled to get out of bed, always feeling behind, always chasing time. Until I read about the 5 a.m. club and thought, does this actually work? Or is it just another productivity gimmick? Look, I used to be that person who hit snooze 6 times and crawled out of bed at 9 a.m. feeling like absolute garbage. My morning was chaotic: rushed coffee, stressful traffic, arriving at work already mentally and physically exhausted. But then I discovered something that 73% of CEOs do religiously, and there's real neuroscience behind why it works. The magic happens around day 21, when your circadian rhythm completely adapts. Tim Cook from Apple wakes up at 4:30. Jack Dorsey from Twitter, 5:30. Dwayne Johnson posts his workout selfies at 4 a.m. It's not coincidence. They understand something about the human brain that most people ignore. So I created the ultimate 5 a.m. experiment. The rules were simple but brutal. Wake up at exactly 5 a.m. for 30 consecutive days. No exceptions, no weekend breaks, no excuses for being sick or tired. And document absolutely everything using wearables, monitoring apps, and even weekly blood tests. Day 1 was brutal. I felt like I'd been hit by a truck. My body was in complete shock. The alarm went off at 5 a.m. and my first reaction was pure rage. My brain was literally fighting me. I was running on autopilot, like a zombie stumbling around the house. I partnered with Dr. Sarah Chen from Stanford's Sleep Lab to track my brain activity using portable EEG. We measured my cortisol awakening response through saliva samples, cognitive performance with standardized tests, and even my happiness levels using validated psychological scales like the DASS-21. My cortisol levels were sky high, 23.4 micrograms per deciliter when normal is between 10 and 20. My heart rate variability was chaotic, indicating extreme stress. The first few days were a biological war between my conscious will and 30 years of established circadian patterns. My initial productivity score? A pathetic 3 out of 10. By day 3, I was still fighting my circadian rhythm like I was fighting nature itself. But something interesting began to happen. My afternoon energy crash disappeared completely. You know that 3 p.m. coma feeling? Gone. Day 5. I noticed I was less irritated in traffic. Day 7. My concentration at work improved noticeably. Day 8. My cortisol awakening response began to normalize. Instead of that terrible groggy fog, I was experiencing what scientists call cortisol priming, a smooth, natural release of energy. Day 12. Productivity jumped to 7 out of 10. I was getting more done by 9 a.m. than I used to accomplish all morning. The phenomenon is real. When you wake up early consistently, you're tapping into something called chronotherapy, literally reprogramming your internal circadian clock. Your suprachiasmatic nucleus, the brain's master clock, starts releasing cortisol earlier, preparing your body for natural awakening. It was like I had hacked my own biology. My mood was more stable, my energy more consistent throughout the day. Day 15. For the first time in years, I didn't need 3 cups of coffee to function. Day 18. My REM sleep cycles completely restructured. My sleep monitor data showed I was getting the same recovery quality in 7 hours that used to take me 9 hours to achieve. My deep sleep time increased by 34%. My sleep architecture had optimized itself. Day 21. Focus levels hit an all-time high, 8.7 out of 10 on productivity. What was happening in my body was fascinating. My body temperature began dropping earlier at night naturally. Melatonin started releasing 2 hours earlier. creating natural sleepiness. I was sleeping like a baby and waking up like a warrior. Day 23. The turning point. This is where everything changed forever. I woke up at 4:58 a.m., 2 minutes before my alarm went off. My body had literally reprogrammed itself. For the first time in 30 years of life, I woke up naturally, without an alarm, feeling rested and energized. My cortisol levels were perfect, 15.2 micrograms per deciliter. My heart rate variability was in the optimal recovery zone. And for the first time in my life, I felt truly awake without a drop of caffeine. It was like I had unlocked a premium version of myself. My mind was crystal clear, my body energized, my mood stable. Day 30. The data doesn't lie. My productivity scores averaged 8.9 out of 10. My happiness levels, measured by the Panis scale, increased by 34%. I lost 9 pounds without changing absolutely anything in my diet. Apparently, regulated cortisol improves metabolism. And here's the craziest part. I was going to bed earlier naturally without forcing it around 9:30 p.m. My body had created a perfect virtuous cycle. People who wake up early have 23% lower rates of depression and 31% better cognitive performance, according to Harvard studies. After these 30 days, I understood why. It's not about willpower, it's about biology. It's about working with your body, not against it. And if you're thinking, this would never work for me, I get it. I thought exactly the same thing 31 days ago. Together, we can build a stronger and more disciplined world. Support this channel by liking, sharing, and subscribing. Until next time, stay unshakable.